So hello and welcome to another episode of the Simplistic Captain's Vlog. One man and his phone. It's the 14th of July, I'm on the River Ant, I've been down to Sow House. I should have thought about filming this a bit earlier and... Oh, you know when you think you're going to sneeze? Yeah. Am I going to sneeze? Or not? Oh, it's just because I had to press record. It started me off. Anyway, no, I don't think I'm going to sneeze. Good, let's get on with the bloody show then. So, yes, I've been down to Sow House Horning, had a little mooch around, little nosy of what's going on down there. It's a lot less busy today. I think the weekend, when I did my last video, there was a lot of privateers out on a Saturday. They went back to their marina on the Sunday. A lot of hire boats went back. I think what we've got now, majority of short breaks, Monday to Friday. And here I am now back on the River Ant, heading up towards Stalham. Tomorrow my mum is coming down with my stepdad and the new dog Bella, which is a border collie, a rescue dog, and we're going to introduce her to the boat and see how that goes. Absolute bonkers dog, so we've got a life jacket for her. She's either going to love it or, knowing her, probably hate it. We will see. But that's where I'm basically heading back, so I'm closer to the boatyard for the morning. This is it. Don't expect anything interesting. I don't find this very interesting, in my opinion, going along and having a chat, but judging by the commentary, quite a lot of you guys quite liked it. Now, I would show you me, but I look a bit rough at the moment. Alright then, go on then, you win. So yeah, still sporting the lockdown haircut, aka courtesy of Sheila's Barbers. She did a really good job, I think. She's up at the weekend, so I'll get her to do me another one, because we bought some trimmers, and the first time, let's not worry about that, let's not go there with that. Second cut though, she was like, yeah, I'm going to do this properly, I'm going to fade it and all sorts, and she did a really good job, so it saved me 15 quid. So I said, right, when you come up, I'm going to do it again. So yeah, and I'll have to sort out this fuzzy stuff that's growing on my my face. Sorry, I'm looking over there. Wasp just came in. Rather not have the wasp around me. So that's me. I think it's more interesting if we look out the front of the boat. So I'll spin you around. So yes, hello. Nice little wild mooring there. That used to be one of my favourites, and it still is. The only issue with it though is if you moor there, I do find that a lot of boats that are coming down the river, when they come around that tree, they don't really see you, that there's a boat there, and then it all gets a bit close for comfort sometimes. So yeah, anyway, let's have a little chat again, if that's alright with you guys, while we're just cruising along. Thank you very much for all your kind words on the return of this video. It's why I'm here again. It's the 14th of July, if I hadn't already said so. And also, thanks very much for all the comments about my planned change of career, and you all seem to be thinking, you absolute nutter. Some of you already drivers, and you'll be amused at why someone want to get into the industry. Even those that aren't still think it's absolutely crazy. But I have some special skills. You see, I don't really get frustrated with other road users or traffic jams. It is what it is, and I just get on with it. So yeah, I don't know why, but I'm just calm and laid back, and you know, what will be, and you just sit there and you twiddle your thumbs and you listen to Radio 4 and you get a bit more educated about the world, and life's good. Or am I just getting that age where suddenly Radio 4 becomes something rather interesting, like the afternoon play or listening to the Archers? I'm not sure. The things that bother me more about it are the things that an experienced driver would say to you, oh god, don't worry about that. It's a bit like when you're learning to drive a car and car drivers are telling you, oh, don't worry about that. But it's stuff like, oh my god, how am I going to reverse the thing? Or, you know, yeah, that. It's not anything to do with the working hours, the being away from home, the lack of any clarity as to where you might be going. So you might go to Nottingham, and you get to Nottingham and you do your drop, and then you phone up the office and then you find out where you're going to next. You know, it really is who knows what. And some of that is why I kind of like the idea, to be honest. It doesn't bother me the fact of being in a confined space. It doesn't bother me the idea of going and having to wait on a loading bay for hours while you're waiting to be tipped, or you know, whatever. All those things that I think a lot of people complain about, I just wouldn't. Prove me wrong. I could get into the job and be saying, do you remember that video I did on the River Rant? Yeah, we will see. But from my point of view and the way my personality is, no, that doesn't bother me at all. And I think that the world of trucking is changing. I think there's a lot of people that are coming into it from other areas that normally wouldn't. By the way, straight ahead, that's where I moored last night. Really nice mooring that. There you are. Oh, it's a bit windy out. And there's another boat here. But yeah, right on the bend. So nice and tucked away there. So where was I? Yeah, so a lot of the truckers out there, you know, the old blokes, you know, kind of, you know, fat and lazy. Well, that's me written all over, really, isn't it? I fit right in. But there's a lot of women coming into the industry. There's people like that were teachers who are now gone into driving. So it is changing an awful lot, just like the railways are changing rather a lot. Now, it's funny, I would prefer to be a truck driver than a train driver, believe it or not. And I wouldn't like to be a bus driver. My stepdad was a bus driver in London, and I just couldn't imagine dealing with the public. And he had 2 routes, and it would vary between the 2 routes, but his shift pattern would change, you know, every few days. You might be doing earlies, then suddenly you're on to doing lates. And it's that kind of monotony that I wouldn't be able to deal with. Whereas with lorry driving, there is, in the scope of driving, you know, all sorts of different avenues to go down. You might be doing curtain siders, and you might then get fed up with that, and you might move on to sort of tankers where you've got to do more training for that. But you know what I mean. There is scope and change, and some people, you know, just get into it and do like night trunk driving. That suits them. Some people like day work. Some people want to be tramping. So there's an awful lot of differences you can get involved with. But I just like the idea of being out and varied, and not just going to an office, sitting at a desk, turning on the computer. You've still got stress, you know, deadlines, reports, your boss on you, all of that kind of stuff. You've still got to worry about Monday morning and everything else, and I just don't really want to do that anymore, if I'm really honest. And so thinking, well, what else could I do? I thought about something to do with boats, going and work for a boatyard, brokerage, sales, the Broads Authority. Then I thought about going back into local authority work. It keeps coming back to, I quite like the idea of what I thought about doing as a sort of 13-year-old, truck driving. And that's not 4 miles an hour, but I don't want to name and shame. Contessa, slow down. Anyway, they're having a holiday, let them be. So basically, that's the end of my talk about the future and stuff as we come into approach of Ørsted. It might all fall through. There's an awful lot to do. I've got to do a theory, which is way harder than your car test, medical, CPC, then there's the practical, then I've got to find an actual job, And someone recently told me that what I should really do is go and work for a supermarket like Morrison's or Tesco's doing their deliveries, because then at least you can say to a prospective employer, well, the experience I've got is this, and it looks a bit better than absolutely no experience. But as long as I don't have to work for DPD or Hermes, I'm alright. I'm happy. Let's talk about something else. What can we talk about? It's a shame this isn't a live video where people can sort of field questions. Oh, I know what I'm going to talk about. Have a little bit of a chat and a moan. Oh, blimey, let's stay on course. Right, so. Oh, tempted. Irsted's free. I could moor up there and plug into the electric point. That's the sort of thing where you think, do I do it or not? And if I don't, am I going to regret it? The problem is, I'm worried about being there and being hit. That's the truth of it. So, oh, hello, he's going. Bow thrusters are plenty. Right, anyway, let's have a chat about radios. So this is a Baofeng. What is it? It's a UV5R. And I thought I'd just talk about this because earlier on I was doing a little bit of radioing and scanning and stuff, and somebody was on VHF channel 12 talking about the fact they'd had a pump out but their toilet wasn't working, and I thought, yeah, not good, mate. I don't know if you've got one of these Baofengs, but if you do buy one of these, please learn how to program them, learn the right frequencies. Don't just buy one and think, oh, whoopie-doo, I've got a walkie-talkie and it works, because you might be broadcasting on completely the wrong frequency. So I bought this one some time ago. I've programmed it. It's still completely illegal, by the way, these. Just make that absolutely clear for PMR use, because you've got a removable whip aerial. That's one thing. Secondly, even on low transmit power on PMR, which is license free, they're still higher powered than the highest power allowed by Ofcom. That said, if you're in the right frequency on PMR, you're not going to be interfering either side of those frequencies, so it's not going to be something you're probably going to have Ofcom chase you after. However, if you've got one of these and you're having your sort of chit-chat conversations on a VHF working channel as used by the Broads Authority, or you know, things like Reedham, Swing Bridge, etc., then that is not going to go down well, and you probably will have to answer to Ofcom for that. So that's the point of this whole video. No, it's not the point of the whole video, just this segment is, if you're going to get one of these Baofengs, program it right and use it responsibly. Right, that's that done. We're almost at Barton Broad. I'm still wondering about that mooring at Irsted. Yeah, that could be nice. Although, at the other end of the scale, I don't really need to be on electric. This came up in one of the Facebook groups the other day. How much does £1 of electric get me? You know, how long is it going to last? Which is basically saying, hey, I bought this bit of string in a ball. I don't know how long it is. Can anyone guess? Because it obviously depends on how much you use of the electric. But your £1 top-up card that you buy from the Broads Authority or wherever actually only gets you 95 pence worth of electric. The other 5p goes in VAT. Now each one of those plastic cards costs the Broads Authority 23p each to buy, and that's why they like you to recycle them. In fact, hold on a minute, in case you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about here. So this is £1 to buy. It costs the Broads Authority 23p to buy in, and gets you 95 pence of electric, e.g. 1 unit. So if a unit is 1 kilowatt hour, then that would mean that you would have, and I'm not saying that that would buy 1 kilowatt hour of electric, because each year the charge varies and stuff like this, and the Broads Authority cannot by law make any money on this. Private marinas get around that law by having an administration charge, or the charge for upkeep and maintenance of their marina pedestals, which you never ever see have any work done on them ever, but then they add on a charge separate to the electrical charge. So yes, that annoys me a little bit sometimes. But let's get back to the topic of these and the Broads Authority. So if you've got a 1 kilowatt fan heater on for 1 hour, you would use 1 unit of electricity. That's roughly, if you want to look at it like that. So lots of people on this post are saying, oh well, I plugged in and there was 46 pence on the post when I plugged in, and in the morning when I went there was 7p remaining. And another chap said, you know, I put £1 on last night and, you know, I didn't use anywhere near a pound. And it made me think, well, if you're hardly using even just 1 unit of electricity, do you really need to plug in? So basically no, I don't think you do. I think, you know, these charging posts, that's what they're for, that's what they're called. Out of season, when it's cold, they can be great for supplementary heating. They're great for liveaboards that need them more, but it seems kind of crazy that Ranworth and other places, people will go and must plug in, you know. Do you really need to plug in is my point. I kind of want to turn up with a boat that's absolutely must be plugged in. So yeah, each their own. I mean, I think the Broads Authority did a bit of a silly thing by calling them charging points for electric boats, and then just having normal 16 and 32 amp connectors. If you had like a Tesla style electric car charger plug that was only issued to, you know, electric boats, it would change things overnight, because people wouldn't really want to spend a few £100 for one of those proprietary cables and a converter just to boil the kettle. But yeah, I wonder if electric boating will ever take off on the Broads. I think it could have a place if we had enough places to charge up, obviously. But anyway, oh, this has been a bit controversial, hasn't he, eh? He's talked about radios and moaning about people using them wrongly, and he's moaned about electricity and people, do they really need to plug in? And yet apparently he's a cool, calm cucumber on the road, doesn't get annoyed. Right, so time to make a choice. I've got 3 choices. 1, continue up the way and moor on a wild mooring near to Stalham. 2, mudway on Barton. 3, turn around and go back to Worsted. I know what everybody would do. They'd say, well, it's natural, go to Worsted, lovely quiet mooring. But would the lady in the house come and moan at me? Oh, she moaned at me when I had San Julian, when I had a heater problem. In fact, she'd moan at me on this boat here. I can't start my heater without 13.2 volts. Therefore, I must start the engine to get the heater going on this boat. It takes almost 19 amps, the glow plug. But once it's running, it goes right down to 2.5 amps. So, yeah, she probably would moan. Then there was the Worsted warden come round with his clipboard claiming he was the warden, just basically being a busybody. I don't know if he still exists. I read it once on a forum. Right, I am going to turn around and go to Worsted, and I'll tell you for why. If I mudway on this boat, on these little wavelets, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So I'll check behind me. There is nothing behind me. Look at that, spinning round. You spin me right round, baby, like a record. Don't know the lyrics properly, but you know the song. That's as good as you're going to get. Right, I've spun round, completely confused the boat coming towards us. Trust me, we will fit through here, don't worry. Right, I'm going to stop the video here, and I might do a little update on the end of it. Because it's me, obviously, Ersted's going to be taken, isn't it? We just know that, but let's see if it really is. More as it happens. Well, this is live as it happens. So yes, these are the guys on Ibiza, and they want to meet me. So I'm going to have to meet them. They're apparently big fans of my videos, so they'll be keenly watching this. You never know what's around the corner on the Captain's Blog, do you? One minute we're going back to Ersted, and now we're having a boarding party. So I better go and stop this video and concentrate on where the hell we're drifting. So these are my two #1 fans apparently on the Captain's Blog. They're on Ibiza 1, recently purchased, and having a great time. So hello, you're looking at me, I'm looking at you, and we're causing mayhem on Barton Broad, aren't we? Everybody's going past here. We're in the middle of the bloody wind and everything. But I'll go down now and see if that mooring's at Ersted. And so, the end of the video. I did make it at Ersted, and my two #1 fans, and very nice it is here too. So there's even 11p of electric on the post that we were just talking about, posts and stuff. So if I can be bothered to get the cable out and plug it in and do all of that, it is available if I need it. And if I'm really going to go crazy, I can even top it up as well. So a little bit of a cruise up the river and a bit of a chat, well, a ramble, a moan, you name it. But it's not so bad actually. Being narrow beam, I don't stick out into the main river too much. So yes, that's the end of the video. For today anyway, so I will sit down and have a bit of a relax and a coffee, I think. So as ever, if you have been, well done you for watching. Until next time, as it happens more.